During my 7.5-year tenure as a rideshare driver, having done 29,725 trips. I'm going for 30,000, baby. Here we go. During those trips, I've done a lot of rides with elderly and handicapped individuals, passengers. And a lot of those rides have been done through the Lyft Assisted Rides program. And I'm highly recommending you sign up for that program. So in this video, I'm going to share with you where you find the training, how do you sign up. I'm going to share with you a few tips to make working with wheelchairs and things like that easier. And I'm going to share with you in the video, so stick around, a couple of stories about how some of the elderly and handicapped people that I've driven have inspired me and shared with me some wisdom and brought me a lot of joy. And there's something more valuable than money, and that's what you can get out of driving some of these folks around. It's really awesome. So all that and more coming up. Hey everybody, it's Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy, drinking a little Java in the morning. So by way of background, I'll share the first story. So this happened just about 2 months ago, and I pulled up in front of a church, and there was an elderly woman in a wheelchair and an elderly man, helping her behind the wheelchair. So I, pulled up as close as I could get, helped her into the car. He ran around, got in the car. I put the wheelchair, folded it up, put it in the trunk, and we were off. It was a short ride, about 10 minutes. On the way, she said, "He wants to marry me." And I said, "Well, how old are you old whippersnappers?" And she was 79 and he was 84. And apparently they lived in, assisted living, and their rooms were, close to each other. And I said, "Why at this stage in your life do you want to get married?" And they didn't really have any kind of an answer. I guess it was something they hadn't really talked about. And as we got to the destination and I was helping her out and he was helping with the wheelchair, he said, "I'll tell you why he wants to marry me. He likes to take care of me." She said, "In fact, I think most men like to take care of a woman." And I found that very true for most of the men that I know. Not all the men that I know, but for most of the men that I know. But I had never heard it put so simply. And that really stuck with me. And I've shared it with a few friends of mine. And I've looked at my own life and seen if that's been the case, So that's the kind of stuff you can get with folks that are older than I am, than you are. They lived a lot longer and they have a lot to contribute if you just kind of have a chat with them and ask them some questions. So let's get into how you can start driving some of these really great passengers around. First, the passenger experience. So this is what the passengers know about you coming to pick them up. And I took this directly from the Lyft website. Taking an assisted ride. When you take an assisted ride, you'll be paired with a driver who is informed you may want assistance. Your driver can meet you at the front door of your pickup location, help you get in and out of the vehicle, and accompany you to the door of your destination. They can also help load and unload light mobility devices, such as canes, walkers, crutches, and foldable chairs. So that's what they're expecting. In my experience, I rarely go and meet anybody at the door. They usually can get to the car. But yes, a lot of times they have the foldable wheelchairs, and that's something I'm going to some information I'm going to share with you later in the video. So that's what they're expecting. Someone to be a little more helpful, someone who would actually get out of the car. I guess the two main things are get out of the car and go meet them at the front door and take them to their destination door and help them with the devices that they may have. And also third, I guess, is help them into the car. Because sometimes they're a little more fragile, a little more gingerly. You need to be a little more careful with them getting into the car. You don't want them to hurt themselves or fall. So number two, the driver experience. So again, this is taken directly from the Lyft website. Lyft Assisted Rides give drivers an opportunity to earn more while supporting our community. They can help riders who want light assistance get from their pickup door to their destination door. You'll get a bonus for each assisted ride you complete. So that's a really cool thing. I don't really remember getting the bonus. I suppose it's added, and I've never really gone back and looked to see exactly how much that is. But given that these rides really don't take much more time, and that the passenger is so cool, the bonus is just extra, which just makes this a win-win-win for everybody. Okay, now we're going to go back to the website and look at how you sign up to be able to give Lyft Assisted Rides. You'll have to complete a special tutorial to start giving the rides. Lyft's partner developed this tutorial. It's called Open Doors Organization to take the tutorial. So you got to tap on the earnings at the top of the home screen, scroll to the bottom of the page, tap Earn More with Lyft Assisted Rides, complete the tutorial, check the box, and tap Give Lyft Assisted Rides. So once you take the course and opt in, you'll start to get Lyft Assisted requests. So it's pretty simple. I took a few screenshots, and let's look at that. So the first screenshot on the left just shows where you're going to tap your dollars there, and that takes you to the second screenshot. And then down at the bottom, you're going to see it says Other Ways to Earn, and under there you're going to have that option for the Lyft Assisted training. So you would just click on that and then do the training. In my experience, the training took like 20 minutes. So the whole process only took about a half an hour. So don't think you're just going to go through it really quick. Give yourself a good half an hour to sit down and go. And you're just basically going to watch a bunch of videos that are just going to inform you about a lot of the stuff I'm sharing with you here, just about how to handle the elderly and the handicapped, and some of the considerations you have to have before you opt in for this program. Okay, the last bit of instruction from Lyft is about giving the assisted rides. So let's again go to their website. When you arrive to pick up your passengers, be sure to park, walk to the door and meet them, ask how you may assist them. Assistance might include providing an arm, elbow, or hand for assisting with stability, opening and closing doors, storing small personal belongings. Okay, so one thing I did learn in the training that I recall is you don't grab an arm. All you do is you just kind of put your arm out like that, and if they'll either grab it or they won't. I remember I have helped a few folks that were seeing impaired, and you can help them that way. So you never grab them; you just put your arm out, or you put your hand out. Let them grab your hand. You just don't ever grab them. Let them grab you. Okay. And as I said, rarely do I actually have to go to the door. A lot of times you're going to pick them up outside of an assisted living facility. So they usually have the roundabout, and you just pretty much drive right up to the door, and they're just going to, come out and get into your car. It's actually not that difficult. Okay, number 3, a few tips. So the first tip is be very patient. It's good. You are going to spend a little bit more time, and remember you are getting a bonus, and remember you're probably going to have a cool conversation with this person. So don't be in a hurry. You don't want to rush. Their timing is a different level than yours, right? You're as a driver, we're all about efficiency and getting as many rides in as possible, achieving that bonus, thinking like that. When you have a Lyft assisted ride, you want to just ratchet everything down. And just be patient. The second thing is you want to get familiar with the wheelchairs. So let me just tell you what you need to know right now. Most of them are these foldable wheelchairs. And in order to fold them in half, which is what you're going to have to do, there's a black seat. Okay, there's a black seat that they sit on. You lift that up, and underneath that, there's a bar in the middle. And you just pull on that, and that will fold the thing in half. Now, you may need to take off the handles. Sometimes you got to take off the handles. And then you're going to fit that into your trunk, okay? So if you don't know how to do it, you can just ask them, how do you fold this up? Sometimes they have a bunch of stuff underneath the seat, and sometimes you have to kind of take that stuff out and put it to the side. And then when you put it all back together, you put the stuff back under the seat like that. But it's not difficult. Just be patient with yourself. Be patient with them. If you have a question, ask. And usually they know exactly how to maneuver their equipment if you can't figure it out. Okay. The last tip is get yourself one of these, which is a bungee cord, okay? At least in my trunk, the wheelchairs don't always fit. They could be really large, and even if you're sliding it flat, it sticks out. So with this, okay, I'm able to latch it to my license plate and you know, tighten it down so that the trunk doesn't have to be closed. It can be open a little bit. So I recommend you go and get just a bungee cord and just let that sit in the back of your trunk. And then I also have, this is a beach towel that I got in Thailand, and I have this at the bottom of my trunk. And what that does is a couple of things. One, it helps protect your trunk so your trunk doesn't get scraped up, and also kind of muffles the sound. So, so those are the main two things I would recommend, is the towel and the bungee cord. The last tip I'm going to say is drive slower than you would normally drive. So take the speed bumps very slowly, okay? I mean, you never want to be going over them really fast, but even slower than you normally would go, because believe me, I'm 64 and I know my body isn't anything like a 30-year-old, all right? When I was 30, I was bulletproof and I didn't have any pain in my body whatsoever. You know, at 64, I got a sore shoulder, and, my back can be a little achy. And I can imagine if I'm 84 or 94 or 104, I don't want the car bouncing around. So speed bumps in particular, coming to starts and stops, right? Stopping, you don't want to be going, like that, right? And then taking 90-degree turns. Just everything slows down a little bit. Just chill out and have a nice chat with the person in the back of your car. Key takeaways. Okay, so in this video I shared with you what the passengers know about the Lyft Assisted program, what you need to know to sign up, okay? And then I gave you a few tips. I told you one story, here's the second story. It was like 5:15 in the morning, it was dark outside, and I went to pull up, and this woman came out in a wheelchair, and she had these two big garbage bags, right? Kind of sitting on her wheelchair. And she said, "Can you meet me down there where the garbage cans are?" And I thought, okay. So I drove like 100 yards down to these garbage cans. And I watched this woman, an older woman, grab these garbage bags and hurl them over her into, the big garbage bins. Then she rode over to my car. She couldn't, the whole bottom of her body wasn't moving. So we had to get really close, and I had to help her into the car and fold it up and use my bungee cord and close the door and get in. And it was just inspiring that this woman, who has every right to ask for my help, with these garbage bags, just was like, I'm going to take care of myself, right? And almost like she didn't have any problem. And it just made me feel so grateful, that I'm healthy, that I'm walking, that I can go and exercise and do ice baths and, the things I do, travel. And that'll happen a lot when you do these Lyft Assisted rides. So that's my other story that I remember, happened pretty recently also. These things happen a lot when you start doing these rides. So my takeaway is I highly recommend you sign up for these rides. You'll make a little extra money, and you'll have some really great experiences with people who have lived a hard life and have the years of experience. And if you're lucky enough, they're going to share them with you. Okay? So I give it a thumbs up. Go for it. All right, everybody, that's it. My name is Jay Crater. I want to thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, please click that thumbs up. That helps more people to see it. Helps me to earn my bonus, my production bonus. Let's go. Click that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet to our YouTube channel, subscribe. We bring out fresh content every single day, help you to make more money in less time, and to share new information, things that might be of interest to you. So join our family. All right, everybody, that's it. Go out and tell somebody you love them. Be safe out there. I'll see you next time.